Okay, so this video is for anybody who is restoring an antique trunk. If you've ever worked on one of these, they are not fun. Fun, but not fun. Okay, so let me give you a little tip. Most of these trunks, they're lined with almost like a burlap paper. And a lot of people try to replace that with like a wallpaper or even a fabric. Well, I'm going to give you an easier way. So the construction, let me show you, the construction on these things, they are made out of a very thin, very kind of dry, fragile board, wood usually. Let me get an end here where I can show you what it looks like. So you see that? It's like not plywood. It's an actual board, but it's very, you can hardly put a nail in this because it's very porous. Okay, so here's what we did. Here's what we did. I'm going to show you the inside of the lid. This is what I'm working on right now. So I discovered Modge Podge. I know, we've all used Modge Podge, like when we were kids. There it is right there. Modge Podge. I like the gloss. So the first thing I did was I took a heavy craft paper like you would get at just a big, I had a big roll of it that I had bought at Home Depot. Let me see if I can show you that real quick. Hold on. Hope I'm not making y'all dizzy with the camera, but here it is. So here's like big long roll of brown craft paper. You could use this to put on your floor to protect it during construction, you know, anything like that. It's pretty heavy stuff. So in order to Modge Podge that, set this back over here. Okay. So I needed something to cover that board. When you strip that board down, it is full of holes, cracks, all kinds of stuff, depending on the shape that your trunk is in. Mine was in pretty bad shape, had some water damage, that sort of thing. And I will try to post some pictures of what it looked like when it was stripped down. But so I thought, well, I need something to cover that. I need a smooth surface to start with, and something that is, you know, usable. So, tore pieces of craft paper. You have to dip it in water before you Modge Podge it because it's so thick and heavy. So the Modge Podge won't soak all the way through. So, slap the Modge Podge on there, and I'm going to do this with this newspaper in just a second to show you. But slap the Modge Podge on there. If you've ever done it, you know you don't have to be neat. Dip the paper, the brown paper, in water. Just dip it. Doesn't have to be soaked. It'll soak quickly as you're just handling it. Slap it on there. Put some more Modge Podge on the top. Make sure that everywhere that you overlap pieces, you put more Modge Podge under it, more Modge Podge over it. You just go for it. And you work around all the little hills and valleys and ups and downs, and you just use small pieces where you need to get in the crevices. So once I did that, I had this really nice, smooth, it covered up all the holes. It covered up any of the little nails that I had to cut off when I attached things on the outside through the tin. I had all these little tacks that were barely sticking through that wood. Clip them off with some nippers, put this craft paper over it, covered everything. Fabulous. Okay, so now I have like a blank canvas. So for this project, this is a family heirloom trunk. It belonged to a family member back in the 30s, probably older than that. It's probably older than that, but he had it in the 30s. And he worked for a newspaper in Fort Worth, and he kept things from his job in this trunk. And the family also had newspapers from his time at this newspaper in Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, so this is 1937. They had this whole collection of newspapers. I said, can I use that for this trunk? And one of the family members said, absolutely, go for it. So here's what we're doing. We've got our base of brown craft paper, thick brown craft paper. And now we are just putting the old newspaper over that. So again, slap it on some, and I'm just going to do a piece right here so you can see, because it's kind of hard to do and hold the phone at the same time. So slapping the Modge Podge on there, tear a piece of craft newspaper or whatever you're using, and stick it wherever you want. Work around, you can work around your edges. I try to make the edges square so they fit together. I don't have to worry about turning corners too much, but it's not hard. Kindergartners can do this. This is Modge Podge. Super, super simple. And you just keep layering it on there. And so anywhere I put one piece on top of another piece, like that, if I need to, stick it down. Just make sure that there's Modge Podge under it and Modge Podge on top of it. Okay, that's the project. So again, I really struggled with how to handle this inside of this trunk, and I think it came out really good. I think it's coming out really good. So this is after I did the entire outside of the trunk. So that's a whole other topic to talk about, how to replace the tin or the leather or the wood strips, whatever is on the outside of the trunk. So we got all of that done first. Then we did the inside. So I had stripped the inside, got it all cleaned up, got the outside all cleaned up, put the outside back together. Now we're doing the finish on the inside. And I want to tell you, I think this is 100% easier than trying to do a wallpaper, which is a big roll, and you got to handle cutting corners, then getting it all stuck in there. I would not want to do this with all these pieces. Or a fabric. I thought, oh God, no, I can't do a fabric. It's just not going to work. I do not have the patience for that. This works. This works. And not only that, but it's like history on history. So I think they're going to love it. I enjoyed just sitting here, like looking at all the different, ads and things in the newspaper. You think things have changed so much, but they're really still the same. So had a lot of fun doing this. I hope y'all enjoy that, and I hope you try it. If you're doing a project like this, give the Modge Podge a try. It really worked.